Hi everybody, today we're going to be doing the quilted patch sweater top that is on my make 9 list. I've done a little practice one there and I'm just looking at my good fabrics to see which ones I want to try out in this pattern. I think I like the second choice. I just really like that darker fabric, as you know from my sewing haul, but hopefully this will be the end product, just in different fabrics of course. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to have it square or rectangle. So you're going to need a rotary cutter, 2 5-inch squares of one fabric, 2 5-inch squares of the other fabric, some contrasting or thingying thread, and your quilting ruler. We start by taking the 2 squares and putting them adjacent to each other. Is that right? We put them like this. This is the look we're going for. Oh, I do like these fabrics. I like it. And then we're going to sew down the seams and give them a press. And then this is where the magic happens. So you're going to cut, I'm going to pretend in this video, but you're going to cut 1 inch either side of the middle seams. So 1 inch over there and then 1 inch over this side. And then horizontally as well, so measure 1 inch down, cut it, measure 1 inch up, cut it, and then something amazing happens. Look at this, right? You just flip them over and you've got a really nice pattern. How straightforward. Ba-ba-da-ba. So this is what the end product's going to look like. You're going to need to sew all your seams together again and press them. I tend to sew in rows and then sew them together into a square. Every time I'm sewing, I'm also squaring off as well. So now we're going to put it onto some felt that I've got here. You can use some batting or whatever you like. Pin it like there's no tomorrow. Oh, mucky bit, it's fine. We'll cut that bit off in a minute. But yeah, make sure that everything's really, really sturdy and laid down nicely and nice and flat. And then you're going to get your quilting ruler and also using the lines. So can you see on my mat, there's some lines on the diagonal. So I'm going to use those to try and keep in line and then mark them with my tailor's chalk so that we have a nice diagonal line. And I think really once you've got the first 2 in place, then they're pretty straightforward to get the rest of the grid lines in. I left 1.5 inch gap between each line. It depends, or each quilting line, sorry. It depends what you fancy and how you go. So as you can see, I'm just measuring it down, making sure it all stays nice and straight, trying not to wiggle everything too much, failing not to wiggle everything too much. And then I'll take it to the machine and get sewing those lines through. Right, can you see all the lines? Only just, just about, but they're all there. So we're going to sew all of those, just like that. Voila, magic. And now I'm just trimming everything off the edges, trimming it all nice and neatly. Beauty of this is that you don't have to cut your loose threads off because you can do it with the rotary cutter. Absolute godsend. And it's really fascinating how something that's so mucky can just turn into something so neat and tidy straight away. This is me trying to square it up with the mat, so these grid lines are just perfect. So my mat, I think this one is a Trimmets. which was from Hobbycraft, and it's got inches on one side and it's got centimetres on the other, which is very, very handy. So this is what the back looks like, and I'm going to put some bias binding round it. I wasn't sure if I was going to make the bias binding really visible or if I was going to tuck it right round to the back, but Talent decided for me, so I tucked it right down to the back, and I think it looks quite nice actually. It looks fine. It just, if anything, well, you'll see in a minute whether it's a bit too raised up, I can't decide or not. But yeah, so to pin the bias around, and then once it's sewn on, you can finish as desired. Okay, so I've sewn all of this. You'll also notice that there's a line in the middle of my jumper. That's because I ironed it in so that I went nice and straight. I think as I was looking at the work, I definitely decided I wanted to have the square on the diagonal, so it looked like more like a diamond. And I think it looks really, really nice. I'm really pleased with the way it's come out actually. I've just put the board underneath whilst I'm pinning it on. I used my quilting ruler. You can use a board or you can use some cardboard, but it just really helps you to pin the piece into place without A, getting the back of the garment, and B, it's easy because the minute you hit the board, you know that you've gone through, rather than sometimes when you go through and try to pin something and you can't always feel whether you've gone through both layers or not. So as soon as you hit the board with the pin, you know that you've definitely gone through all the layers. Again, I put loads and loads of pins in this because I knew that I was going to struggle to get it into the sewing machine with lots of space. So, and also because the fabric is, or rather the sweater is stretchy, I thought, well, I'm going to need a load of pins in it to make sure it doesn't run off. Because obviously, even just being a little bit wonky, it'll be really obvious, as you can see. And there we go. That's it all attached. I wonder what it could look like on. Wonder no more. Here we are. Ta-da! This is me in my best Saturday morning, no makeup. Et voila. Look. I really like it. I think it looks really nice. I'm really pleased that I went for the darker colour. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all those wonderful things, and maybe even drop a comment below to let me know what you think about it. Thanks so much. Have a great week. Bye.